the founder of 10xcodekids.com, and if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. And if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do it so that you don't miss any of my videos. So without any delay, let's get started. And today we are with a JavaScript topic. Not Java, but JavaScript topic. Yes, it's been a long time, but yeah, we are once again on with a JavaScript topic. And today's topic is JavaScript uh, JavaScript destruction, right? So today's topic is JavaScript destruction, right? So this is gonna be very interesting. I have a lot of script files ready for you today, and let's understand destruction. So without any delay, let's get started. Dab. Right. So let's just get into it. So over here we have a person object, right, in which we have first name and last name, right? And for example, you don't always feel like giving person dot first name, person dot last name when you want to access those properties. Then what do? If you want to access them with like normal variables, you can use destruction in JavaScript. So how this works over here, we have a let first name equals f name, last name equals l name equals person. So I'll just explain this. Now we have a person object, right? And it is saying over here that whenever we tried over here first name equals f name is saying whenever we are trying to access f name, print the value, get the value of person dot first name. Whenever we are trying to get the value of l name, get the value of person dot last name. So you can write the same thing over here like this: let f name equals person dot first name, and let l name equals person dot last name, right? So it is equals to this. So this is destruction. This is a very basic destruction where what is happening, we are doing this is the property over here and this is the variable, and it is saying from the person object, whenever we try to access f name from the person object, bring the value of f first name, and whenever you are trying to access l name from the person object, bring the value of last name. So like let's just understand the syntax. It is saying first name equals f name and last name equals l name of the person object. So it is saying that person object's first name equals will its value will come in f name, and person object's last name's value will also be coming in l name, and we can access those, right? We can do f name and l name, we can access these both, and we are consoling them out, logging them out. So you see we are getting John Doe, right? So this was basic destruction. Now let's see another example. This. So what is happening over here, doing first name comma last name equals person. So this is saying whenever I give first name, bring the value of person dot first name. So if you want to access the properties value with this its same name, with the same name as the properties name, then we don't need to give that colon notation, we only need to give the property name, right? So like if we have the person object and we want to access its first name, then what we can do, we can either write person dot first name or we can only write first name. Why? Because it is checking, we want to access the same person property first name using its same name but without that person dot, right? So what is happening over here, it is saying whenever you access first name, bring the value of person dot first name, and whenever you access last name, bring the value of person dot last name, right? And you don't need to give colons now because you want to access it with the same name as the property name, right? Same as the property name, right? And a third example is that when we are trying to destruct a property that is not there, when we are trying to destruct a property that is not there, then its value will be undefined. So like we are giving middle name over here, so it is saying that bring person middle name value is person dot middle name, but there's no person dot middle there's no middle name property in the person object, so it will set middle name to undefined, right? And when we log that middle name out, we'll get undefined. Oh, sorry, I have an error. We have an error over here because f name is not defined. Now we are accessing with the same property name. That's why we need to give that property name, because the variable that is created is has the same name as the property name. So these are what we are creating over here are just variables. These are just variables that are being created over here, right? These are just variables that like have the value of person objects properties, right? And then we can access them like normal variables. So this is a lot more this will make our programming a lot more easier. Instead of writing again and again person dot person dot person dot person dot, we can just directly access it as a variable, right? Now I'll just change it to script2.js because we have moved on to script2. Now we are on setting default values. So over here we have a person object which has first name John, last name Doe, and current age 28. So then we are destructing it, and you see we are giving middle name equals to empty string. So this means if the middle name is not present in the person object, instead of making it undefined, instead of giving it the value of undefined, what you do, you set it to empty string. So that is the default value, right? So we are giving the default value that it is by default empty string. If like if you don't find the value of middle name, it will set it to empty string, not undefined. And then we are giving current age and that colon notation. This colon notation means that we'll access current age with this named variable, that is age, right? This is the variable from which we like I'll just shorten this. So you see current age equals age, current age colon age. So this is saying that we saw that over here, that it is saying that current age, the current age we will access using the age variable, right? And the current age, and then we are setting a default value that is 18. So it is seeing that if it is present in there, then set it to whatever value there is inside it, else set it to 18. So current age is present over there in the object, that's why it is not bringing the default value. And let's see, this should print out empty string and this should print out 28. So over here print out empty string, we can't see that quotes, right? Because empty string doesn't print out quotes. And we can see 28, right? This is default values. Default values are set to the those variables when we don't have the value present, the key value pair present in the object, right? So when we don't have the property that we are looking for in the object, then the default value is set. Now let's move on. We are now on destructing a null object. So we have a get person method that will just return us null, right? And then we are trying to destruct null, right? I'll just change it to script3. So we are trying to destruct null. So like over here we are returning null, and basically over here it is returning null. So we over here we'll get null. Over here we'll get null over here on this place. So it is saying let first name last name equals null. So what this will bring, you must be thinking it will set first name and last name to undefined, as we learned over here that if it is not present in the object, then it will set it to undefined. And null is also an object, so you must be thinking it will bring undefined. But no, it is not gonna bring undefined. what it is gonna bring is an error, because you cannot destruct a null object. You can't destruct, okay, you can't destructure. Why am I saying destruct? You can't destructure a null object, right? And for always your safety, what you should do, what you should always do for safety, you should give an or. So it will see that if this is if this is an proper object, then take this object, or and if it is null, um, null, undefined, or anything, it will take an empty object. And now it will not bring an error, it will bring undefined, because first name and last name are trying to destruct from an empty object, and that empty object does not have the first name and last name property, so it to set the values of first name and last name to undefined, right? Now we'll just go move on to script 4. Right, so in script 4 we are learning about nested object destructuring, right? So over here, let's see what we have. We have an employee object in which we have an ID, and we have a name object in it, in which we have first name and last name, right? Now what we are doing let name first name last name equals employee. So this is nested destructuring, guys. This is nested destructuring. So what is happening? We want to destructure from the name object, we that is in the employee object, right? So we'll have to give that destructure from the name object, and in that destructure these two properties that are first name and last name. So this is the standard thing that we always give this part, and we are just giving this name property just to say that this first name and last name is present in the name property, right? And we have to give the let keyword, right? And then we have closed this, and then equals employee, right? So we need to destructure from the employee object, right? Another way of doing the same thing but in an easier way and a more understandable way will be, I'll just comment this out and comment uncomment this, ah uncomment this. Right. So over here, it is saying the structure from employee.name. So employee.name is this object, right? It is this object, this new object over here, and it is saying just the structure first name and last name from this employee.name, right? Object from just the structure from this, bring first name and last name, create two variables first name and last name, which will have the value of employee.name.first name and employee.name.last name. So you see, employee.name is bringing us an object from which we are destructuring first name and last name, right? Quite cool. Then finally we have this over here, this example, in which what we are doing, we have let name, this part is standard that was above over here, then we are giving comma name. So what is happening over here? This what is happening over here? It is destructuring name also, the name object. Name is also a property at the end of the day. The name is also a property at the end of the day, so we are destructuring first name and last name of the name object, right? That is inside the employee object, so we are destructuring those, so we can access those with first name and last name. And then we are destructuring name also, so instead of accessing it, the name object like employee.name, we can just directly access that name object every time using the name variable, right? And we are doing equals to employee, so destructure from the employee object, right? And then we are logging out first name, last name, and then finally name. Oh, I didn't run these examples only. Sorry guys, I forgot to run these. Oh shit, I forgot to show you the result only. So this was the first example. When we were destructuring first name and last name, we were getting John Doe, right? Then we just comment this out and uncomment this. Over here also, this was a easier way. We were just destructuring from employee.name and we could remove that name part. So we are again getting John Doe, right? I explained. And then finally, this is an example where we are destructuring the name object also. So now the name object of this employee object, we can access it directly using the name variable, right? So this is a very 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 important concept for me, guys, and it will help a lot. It will speed up your coding a lot, right? So this will speed up you a lot. So destructuring is always a very important concept to learn. And then finally, we'll just learn how to destructure function arguments, right? So over here we have a display. So over here we have a display method, right? We have a display arrow function in which we are getting two arguments. First, we are getting one object, right? I'll just come to the destructuring part, and we are just uh, giving back first name and last name. So over here we have the person object that has first name and last name, and we are doing display person. Now you see this part. When we are accepting the object, what is happening? This is destructuring function arguments, guys, where you directly in the parameter place only destructure the arguments that you are getting. So the arguments that you are getting are like you are getting an object that is your argument, and you know what's inside the object, so you directly destructure it in the parameter place only, and saying that I want first name, I want last name from whatever object uh, is coming, right? From whatever object is coming, I want to destructure first name and last name. So it will just be like getting first name and last name, two different properties, but in reality we are getting one single object. I'll just explain this once again. We are getting one single object. We are getting one single object and we are destructuring that object, right? So we are destructuring that object and saying first name, last name. So first name and last name, what it will do, it will say, it is basically equals to, like, it is basically equals to whatever, like, person. It is similar to this, right? This will not work, but I'm just telling you. So what it is saying, whatever object you receive, destructure first name and last name. Bring the property, the values of first name and last name, create two arguments that are first name and last name, and work as if you are getting two arguments, right? And then we are printing out first name and last name. So this is what is happening over here. If you just didn't understand this, please just rewind the video a bit. You will understand it because I've explained it twice. And these were all the examples of destructuring, and destructuring is done today, guys. Thank you, guys. I hope you like this video. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. Thank you, guys. Bye. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching my videos. Dab.